Hi, everybody. How are you doing? It's Georgia Rose from Zencuda. Welcome to the Zencuda community and the Soul Space podcast. I'm here every Monday night at 7 o'clock on Strong Island and also on Georgia Rose Zencuda. And if you missed the show in its entirety, you can always tune in on all podcast platforms, including Spotify and at noon on Fridays on television. And so I'm just going to finish my little post here. I'm sharing the show on Zencuda Soul Space. And if you want to share the show, I would absolutely love you for doing that because tonight I'm so excited. We're going to do card readings. I haven't done card readings in so long. And I know you guys love that. So every once in a while, we are going to do those shows. So tonight, we're going to devote almost the whole show to card readings. So if you comment, ask for a card, put your name in the comments, or call in live. We're going to put the phone number on the screen in a little bit. First, I do just want to talk a little bit about astrology. And I have a couple of little announcements that I have to make. First of all, want to just offer my condolences to quite a few people in the spiritual community here on Long Island, New York, Long Island. We lost one of our really wonderful mentors and beautiful, beautiful souls, Lois Martin. And Lois Martin was on my show a couple of times. I've been on her radio show. I've got your number quite a few times. She's always so generous to me in giving me that platform and really, promoting me as a psychic reader. And Lois was someone who was so warm-hearted and so beautifully giving in life and just in general. I mean, she always had time for everyone. Another very good friend of mine, John, spoke to her every day after they met from her doing my show. And I just want to send love and light and healing to her whole family and everyone in the local spiritual community that really is going to miss Lois. And she was just really the exemplary and example of giving service to the world and being so kind-hearted. And I know a lot of us actually met Lois and started to know Lois through her continuing education classes that she used to do at the local high schools, and just really gave us an education about numerology. She was an amazing numerologist, an amazing reader. I mean, through the numbers, she could basically tell you anything that you wanted to know. She was someone that I used to reach out to quite a bit, and she would always give me little advice, and just a really great lady. And I know that she is up there shining down on all of us, rooting us on still, and she still has our number wherever she is. So I hope that in the coming days and months and years, without her, as her family and loved ones go on, that they'll get some signs from Lois, because she definitely was a lady who had our number. So I wanted to just send out some love to our community here on Long Island and all over the globe. Anybody who really knew Lois was always touched by her. So thank you, my beautiful lady, and Godspeed to you. And I want to also, another announcement that I have is we are going to have a merch site on Strong Island, and you can get this T-shirt, lovely. Da, da, da. We have Zencuda T-shirts, and on the back they say "Join the Wave." And we're going to have all kinds of Zencuda merchandise for you as we put products on the store. The store is going to be live November 22nd. So if you want a Zencuda tank or tee, you'll see me out wearing my Zencuda stuff. And people will be like, hey, what's Zencuda? Well, Zencuda is living to your full potential and following the path of your soul. That's living Zencuda. So being really zen and really protective about your zen. So thank you all for indulging me in that. I hope you will promote the Zencuda wave and get people to join our community, because we're all about the love. And now I want to go to a little astrology. So this week, I know you all want to know what's going on Thanksgiving here in America. What's the holiday going to be like? Well, energy is going to shift. We're coming off a little bit of hard, tough energy. We had Mars really running the show. And as I said on some of my other videos, we've got Mars opposing Uranus, and we've got Mars and the Sun together in Scorpio, which creates a lot of combustion. In the astrological world, we call that a cazimi. And when Mars is cazimi, it creates a lot of energy. And that's why maybe this weekend you've noticed people being a little more aggressive than usual, because Mars and the Sun are just lighting that energy up. And in Scorpio, that is a lot of aggression at times. We've got Uranus in there as well. So it can be, a little challenging. But what I'm going to say to you is, especially since like Saturday, Sunday, today, that cazimi is an annual alignment. It happens every year. This year it happens to be in Scorpio. That's a lot of fire, a lot of passion. It's our motivation. So the best use of the energy isn't that aggression or anger. The best use of the energy is if you've got something that you really are trying to get done, or something that you're trying to, some kind of energy you're trying to unstick and move forward. This is a really good energy to make yourself assertive and become more assertive in that energy. It is a great time to change things up the next couple of days. It's also a great time to write your goals out. If there's goals that you want for 2024, or things that you really want to accomplish that are in the area of healing, ambition, business, things that take a lot of determination that are hard to do. This is energy where we're being, kind of getting a, pat on the back or a little propulsion that helps us to do the hard things. And in Scorpio, it's going to be digging deep. It's going to be unblocking. Finally, what's, holding us back gets a little bit of movement in this energy. That's the positive end of it. The negative end of it is you lose your temper, you get frustrated, you get possessive, things like that. So try and use this energy to really unstick yourself. Now, Wednesday, the energy really shifts because Wednesday, Sun goes into Sagittarius from Scorpio. Also, other planets, Mercury, Mars, are going to start to follow into Sagittarius this next couple of weeks, next few days. That's when the energy really lightens up. For those of you who've been feeling a heaviness or have been feeling a little bit of frustration, like you feel like you move one step ahead and two steps back, that energy is going to lighten up just in time for the holidays. So, traditionally, Thanksgiving is the first Sagittarius holiday that we have, because it's always, Thanksgiving is always the Thursday once the sun goes into Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is an energy of party. It's light energy. It's joy. It's ruled by Jupiter, which expands things. It's benevolent. Sagittarius, I'm a Sagittarius rising. They're outgoing. It's an outgoing energy. But Sagittarius, what the real archetype of it is, the truth. So in Sagittarius energy, we're very much the detectives. We want to know, is this real? What's really reality? What's happening? Is this true or not? Right? So as we go into Wednesday, the sun goes into Sagittarius. Sagittarius season begins. We welcome in lighter energy just in time for Thanksgiving and the holiday season. So we have an opportunity to create more joy, more playfulness, go into that, creative energy of the inner child. It's really good for creating. It also, that energy, once the sun goes into Sag and stays there for the next month, it's a great energy for creativity. If you write or journal or do poetry or create song or anything that's art or, painting, anything that is very creative or takes those creative juices, in Sagittarius, that juice will flow. It's also a time to be inspired by new ideas and new concepts. So even if there's something that you wouldn't put in the category of creativity, maybe it's a new way to do something in your business or a new way to do something, a project that you're working on. Now is the time when the creative energy will really, really flow. However, the universe never gives us everything good and everything bad. There's always balance, right? So Thursday, I hate to say, but Thursday can be a little bit of a challenging day. The sun is squaring Saturn. Now, squares in astrology are challenges. Squares is a hard energy. It's a square. It's this conversation of tension between two planets. But the real purpose of squares is to make things hard and challenge us, because that's where our most growth comes. So wherever the squares are in your chart, that's where you're given that challenge to grow. So what's the challenge on Thursday? What's the energy? With Sun square Saturn, and the Sun is now, of course, in Sagittarius, so it's squaring Saturn, and Saturn is in Pisces. And so that's an energy where we're feeling pressure to get the hard things done. Remember, I said the energy that's coming in from the other, Cazimi with Mars and the Sun, and both those planets squaring Saturn, that's an energy of, things come up that are hard to do, but we have the assertion to do them because Mars and the sun is shining a light on Mars, which is our get up and go, our driver. So things are hard, but we're up to the challenge. So Thursday, now the sun squares Saturn with Mars squaring Saturn. And we have the energy to do those hard things, but they can be a little frustrating. So my suggestion to you is on Thursday, make sure that you are making lists. Even if that's your menu, if you're cooking, or use your GPS to get where you need to go, even if you think you kind of know. Um, Make sure you have something that is a track to follow. Because when we have a track to follow in this kind of energy, we will be able to do the hard things with more ease and gentleness. Otherwise, we're going to get frustrated because it can be an energy that kind of starts to take us all over the place a little bit. And that's because Monday, we have a full moon coming in Gemini. So Wednesday, sun goes into Sag, energy lightens up, but we've got the sun and Mars really close together. They're transiting the zodiac together. So now when the sun starts to square Saturn, Mars is in there squaring Saturn too. That's a limitation. It's hard things coming in, but we've got that Mars sun assertion to get it done. That's Thursday, Friday. Then we go through the weekend with some of that energy. It's like a push-pull energy, but the full moon in Gemini is already building come Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So now Monday, the full moon comes in. This full moon is a Gemini full moon. It's on the heels of that Saturn-Mars square. So what does all that mean? Gemini is communication. So on the one hand, we've got this Saturn square that kind of is limiting and frustrating, and it's almost like the car's stuck in the mud. The wheels are spinning, spinning, spinning. That's Mars and the sun in Sag. Spinning, they want to go. They want to have the party. They want to get there. But you can't find your shoes, or you can't find the outfit you want to wear, or, you just like people are being pains in the neck and you're trying to get the group together and you can't get them there. It's that kind of frustrating energy. Things become harder. But Gemini is the sign of communication. So now those hard things that we've been kind of fooling around with for the last few days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, going into next weekend, now when the full moon energy starts to come in, that hard things start to become more in the line of communication. So you've got Gemini, which is communication. It's airy. It is a multiplicity. It's many things happening at once. And when we multitask, right, we get things done, but we don't do anything well. That's the Gemini energy swirling all around us. And then, so what's going to happen over the weekend and Monday, and then a couple of days after, because the full moon, is Gemini and Sagittarius are travel. It's travel, it's communication, it's media, it's news stories, it's words. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and I'm going to do a psychic prediction. And I'm going to say you may get to where you're going Thanksgiving, but getting home is going to be a different story. So I'm just putting it out there. Travel's going to be really mucky mucked Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Travel's going to be really mucky mucked. Make sure you're checking everything. Make sure you have contingency plans. Things will be restructured. Things will be redone. Things are going to come in twos. Two things can be true at the same time. I'm booked on a plane. The plane's not leaving. It's going to be that kind of energy. It's polarity. That Gemini moon, Sag sun are wonky communication. It's also where people get stuck in I'm right, you're wrong, and you have a lot of polarity. It'll be people digging their heels in, almost become dogmatic about their opinions. So when you are in that Thanksgiving meal and Friday as well, watch your words. Think about what you're saying before you say it, because in an energy like this, it's just a lot of miscommunication, delays, having to do things twice. Okay. But the energy will feel lighter because we've got Mars in Sagittarius now. It's not that heavy Scorpio energy. Sun is in Sag, not that heavy Scorpio energy. So just be aware. This is also a really great time. Two things I was just doing. The one I already said, make lists, follow the GPS, check everything twice. But the other thing is a little bit different. The other thing that this energy is very, very good for is introspection and reflection. While Mars has been flying through Libra and Scorpio, now it settles a little bit in Sagittarius, the happier Mars. So you want to think about, how have I grown in the last 2 months? What came up for me? And some really deep reflection in these next few weeks is going to be really productive for all of us. Um, you're going to get clarity. It's like the full depth. It's like after this Gemini full moon settles a little bit, then we get more clarity. Sagittarius is all about the truth, right? We become a little more detective like. So in this energy, it's really the full depth of what we've been through and how much we've grown from it. So that is a lot of the astrology. It's definitely this Mars squaring Saturn, that you're going to feel a week or so. So you'll start to feel it now and into next week, but it does perfect over the weekend. Um, it's a restlessness, it's a confusion. It's like you're going to butt heads with people, that kind of an energy. But it's there because that's where we have our growth, right? If we can go into the introspection and the reflection, we go out, we have an experience, and then we bring it back in to understand what it's meaning for us. Why is it happening? What are we supposed to do with it? That's really why these energies happen that are a little bit uncomfortable for us. Okay. So use the energy to make progress in difficult tasks, both in the three-dimensional world and in your own mind. Okay. Um, but keep your thoughts in check and make time for quiet, grounding, journaling, especially as the week progresses and you go into Sunday and Monday. Really going to want to do those kind of things. Go out in nature if you can. Focus your attention on what makes you feel confident and certain during that full moon that's coming in on Monday, which is the 27th. This is beautiful. It's a mixed bag. It's a lot of energy. It's beautiful but somber. It is endings, culminations, closures because you have that full moon. But again, it's happening because we are meant to really be growing. So that's the astrology. And if you have any questions about that, just ask them during the show. Because being that it's a Gemini full moon, it's really working on communication and travel and things like that. It's also that Sagittarius Gemini opposition is all about truth and the law. So you're going to see a lot of people, like I say, becoming dogmatic. And believe it or not, but Gemini is an air sign, so that full moon is going to disrupt flight. And that's why I say air sign flight. You've got Sag, you've got delays, you're going to definitely have some travel stuff going on over the weekend. And that's about it. Okay. Yeah. Restart, communication, freedom, travel, movement, flight, um, free speech, but be careful. What are you really saying? Right. So that is the astrology. And if you have questions, we can answer them on the show. And now I know you guys want cards, don't you? Oh, funny, funny, funny. Okay. So I'm going to see my comments here. Who's on tonight? Okay. Who have I got here? Hey, Marie, how are you doing? Marilyn, hey. Um, when pre-phase Mercury and retro start. I gotta look up, when does Mercury retro? I'll think about that. I gotta look at my chart. Hey Gira, hey Kathy. Kathy was on the show last week. Loved having her here. Janine, and there's a bunch of other people. We're gonna have our mutual friends, Kathy and I are gonna have on Sue Glazer Gelman and her partner Michael. I have not spoken to them yet because today was a crazy ass day. But now I get to relax most of the week, almost. Wednesday I have a charity thing to do all day, but that's okay. But while I have you guys on here, I just want to see about the Mercury dates. I don't want to say the wrong date on here. Got to look it up. December 13th is the next Mercury retrograde, I think. Yeah, December 13th. So we got a little ways to go. Yeah. It's a Merc retrograde on December 13th. I'm looking at the chart. Yeah. It's going to be a Mercury retrograde over Christmas. So, yeah, well, what are you going to do? Right? It'll be fine. We get through it. Just, Mercury retrogrades are actually really good for communication, as far as if you take your time and you take some time to just like kind of relax and journal and contemplate and be introspective. That's really what Mercury retrograde wants us to do. So, okay, so let me go back to my comments. All right, we're going to shuffle some cards and do some stuff. Does anybody have any questions about the astrology? If you do, just put it in the okay, we're going to start with Melissa for cards. Okay. So, Melissa, how are you doing tonight? Also, we're going to put the number on the screen. If anybody wants to call in the show, you can do that. And I'll do a reading for you on the phone too. So, I also want to say that during this time of year, I say this every year, but especially this year because Saturn is really coming in hot and heavy with Mars, a lot of Mars Saturn aspects, and Saturn is in Pisces. This is a time of year where you will see a lot of people departing the world. You will see a lot of endings, culminations, lives ending. People, if you have anyone who's an elderly parent or a sick person, many times around this time of year, we do find that, more people will pass, especially, right around the holidays and full moons that happen around the holidays. Just shuffling the cards. Everybody shuffling. So the other energy that's coming around a lot lately is a lot of people, I don't know if it's just the holiday or what, but I had a lot of friends call me this weekend that like they're feeling left out of things. Seems to be an energy of that. And I don't know. I still have sometimes hard times dealing with that. So I'd love to hear your conversations about that. Okay, these cards are going to be for Melissa. Tonight I am using the regular Rider-Waite Tarot, and I'm also using my soul cards. So I'm going to do a 3-card spread. They're telling me to do 3, maybe 5 cards for Melissa. Melissa, first card that came up in reverse was the Strength card, which is to me the Leo card. The Strength card, oftentimes when I see it in reverse, doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have strength. It means that maybe you're coming on too strong about something and need to maybe temper yourself a little bit. So just take that to heart. Next card I have is a card of nostalgia. It is the look upside down. Yeah, card of nostalgia. It's the 6 of Cups. And then for you, I pulled the Knight of Wands. So you've got a lot of Leo fire energy coming in, Melissa. That could be because I feel like maybe you're having a war of words, actually. But what I'm going to say is you really want to make sure that the actions you're taking now are actions that you really want to do, because the actions you take now, and I'm saying this in pertaining to something in your life right now that is a conflict, and it could be with a Leo male or a fire sign male. You want to make sure, whether it's your words or actions, that they're really what you sincerely want to do for your outcome, because I feel like the actions you take right now are actions that are going to affect you long term. So if you're in an argument with someone or you're in a conflict with someone, you're trying to resolve a relationship in some way, really take some time out and make sure that your actions of what you want to do and the things that you want to say are really the best thing that you can do for the outcome you desire. Because I feel like it would be very easy for you to misstep here. And you really need to contemplate and be a little introspective, because as I said, the decision that you make is very strongly going to affect the future for a long time. So I don't know if you have any question about that, but that's really what I'm getting for you, Melissa. All right. And I'm going to pull a soul card just to confirm that for me, because it's coming in so strong. Like they're saying to me to definitely caution you, like, don't go off too strong. Don't go off like, the best way to get your outcome is with quiet and sweetness. Yeah, this the soul card that I got is to me an angelic energy, but it's an energy of you looking up, like you're in a darkness or a bad conflict, and you're looking up wondering what the right thing to do is, and I'm telling you, go slow. Go slow, choose your words, really think about the things that you want to do, because I feel like you have a hurt, a wound here. You want to lash out. It's not going to get you what you really want. You've got to be really honest with what you're thinking and feeling, and be really honest about your emotion, and maybe be a little vulnerable here instead of angry. Okay? That is the reading, came in really strong. And if the reading doesn't make sense to you, I think it probably does. But if on anything, if a reading ever doesn't make sense to somebody, most of the time people will leave the show or leave me when in private, and they'll be like, I really didn't understand what you were saying. And it'll actually, like a day later, they'll call me like, oh, I understand totally now. So that often happens because we're in an illusion and we're not ready to hear what the message is sometimes. Just want to put that out there. Because that, especially now, is another thing that deep in illusion. People are very deep in illusion right now. They're going to get busted up in this Gemini full moon next Monday. I have a call. Hi, you're on the Soul Space with Georgia Rose.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, good. How are you?
I'm good. And what's your name?
Rose.
Hey, Rose, how are you tonight? Feeling good?
I'm feeling good. How are you feeling?
I am good, actually.
Thankful.
I had kind of
Thanksgiving week.
a weird weekend, but I made the best of it. So you want me to
I'm
pull
sorry
some
to hear that.
cards for you, or you have a specific question?
Just pull a couple of cards. That would be great.
Okay. So I feel definitely like you're trying to make a decision about something, but I don't know. The first thing that came in for me this evening was actually not romance or anything like that. I feel like there's something going on with work with you. Is that true? A work
Oh,
position?
no,
I'm feeling something at work. I'm getting definitely. Are you in a health related field?
no.
I just shuffled the cards and oh no, that's a king of wands. I had a queen later. Okay. So I'm getting that for you. So just like watch. Yeah, it's coming in very strong. Was someone around you that passed over, like a nurse or something?
Yes.
Okay, because I'm definitely getting like a health field energy around you. And now someone who is departed that was in like the capacity of a nurse or something like a nurse is coming through for
Yes.
me. Yeah. Okay, so that's what I'm finding. All right. Um, so it'll come if it's going to come, it'll come through on the reading. Um, and that's why when it first came through, I thought you were the one in the health field, but this person's coming through as that so strongly. Like
Hmm.
this person was definitely someone who tremendous empathy and caring for that to be in that field, you know.
Hmm.
Um, so I have the Queen of Wands in reverse, and that could also be emblematic of someone coming in, Queen of Wands. I also have the Two of Swords, which is a card of justice. And then the third
Hmm.
card that I pulled was the balance card, which is the Two of Pentacles. So when I see, two cards come in that are both numerically the same, the number two, that usually has
Hmm.
some kind of a message for the recipient. But I'm also feeling that this Gemini full moon coming in is going to reveal things for you because Gemini is also a sign of the number two and duality. So I'm
Hmm.
feeling like something is building for this full moon specifically for you. Not sure what that is
Okay.
yet if it comes in during the reading. So the person who passed that was in the health field, were they like a mom to you? I feel like this wasn't your mom, but it was a mom to you. Is that correct?
Grandmother.
Yeah, that's where it is. Okay. So, and I always never know how to word that nowadays because we have so many different energies that people identify with. Um,
Hmm.
I feel like grandmother is around you coming through. And for some reason, I don't know, it's kind of like a little contrived, I know, but I feel like grandma is somehow around you, around the energy of your work. Like either there's something happening at work that she's being very nurturing with you about, or something is going to
Hmm.
happen at work. But for some reason, she's definitely directing me towards your work.
Okay.
So there's something almost like a protective energy for her. She's telling me that there will be decisions that need to be made and that you are very much going to make the right decision, but she's guiding you somehow. So just know that. Also, Rose, do you have a son?
Yes.
Okay. So she's coming in for me around that sun,
Hmm.
and she's coming in somehow like giving very healing energy to that person.
Okay.
All right. And
Hmm.
that's where I think the balance card came in for me because there's something about your son that she is trying to almost like give an energy of balance to that situation. So I don't think.
Interestingly enough, he just took a job in the health field.
Okay, so that makes sense to me then. So she's
Yeah.
around him, maybe showing him the ropes or inspiring him in some way.
Hmm.
So if he comes home and starts telling you, this a story or stories about things that happen at work and he's saying, and I knew how to do it, or I just, I don't know where it came from, but I said this or I did this. That's grandma.
Okay.
Yeah, because she's definitely around him, inspiring him. She's like very pleased. And I'm just getting such a healing energy from her.
Hmm.
I feel like she was very healing to the people that she cared for, but I also
Hmm.
feel that there was some polarity there, and at times she could be a little bit different at home.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. And it's always hard when I'm on the show because I don't want to give out personal information. But
Right.
she's coming through and she's grateful for you. She's proud of you. She wants me to say that. She's also saying to me, like almost in an apologetic way, and it's a strange energy because in her career, in her work life, she would have nothing to apologize for. So it's maybe she brought some frustrations home or whatever. I know nursing is a very hard job, but
Hmm.
I feel like she's coming in now almost apologizing to you for something. So if that's an energy that you've
Okay.
been waiting for in order to move on with something in your life or reconcile something, please know that she is coming in just with pure love, apologetic and
Mm.
gratitude, and just giving you a really big hug. Um,
Mm, that's great.
yeah, and she feels like I shouldn't say she feels like she's telling me something with Thanksgiving for you this year. Something's going to happen that hasn't happened in a couple of years or something. It's people getting together that don't haven't normally gotten together or something.
No,
Because she's showing
I
me
think
some
so.
kind of a tradition that's happening this year that hasn't been done in a while. So maybe you're going to get a surprise or something.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah. If you do, let us know.
I
Because
will,
she's
definitely.
definitely showing me that something's different, but she's really happy about it.
Great.
So did you have any question?
No, I just really wanted a basic reading. I appreciate it.
Yeah. I mean, if you have any, thing that you want me to touch on, I can try to touch on. But grandma
I'm
is
gonna have a romantic,
yeah,
just romantically, how's that going?
I have to tell you, like grandma coming through, it's like she watches over a lot. But I feel
Mhm.
like and this energy is just coming in for me. I feel like you're blocking that a little bit. So,
Okay.
yeah, so, and that's a personal thing for all of us. I know we all sometimes aren't aware of that, but I feel like you have
Mhm.
you like I know that you want to have that in your life, but I also can feel that you're very skeptical about it.
Mhm.
So, that energy has to get worked through before Mr. Right really comes in.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Have
That's
a good
spot on.
evening.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to do as I know I spent a lot of time on that. I probably shouldn't. Sorry, guys, but I go where spirit flows me. Okay, so Anita said one of her neighbors passed away today. I'm sorry to hear that. Anita, I'm gonna pull two cards for you. They're telling me short and sweet. Okay, let's see what I got for Anita Mina. Oh, I have the death card. Probably the neighbor. And this nostalgia card. I don't mean to chuckle, but I'm chuckling because this is like the neighbor card, the nostalgia, the friendship card, and this is death. So sometimes that can mean a literal death. So I think the energy of your neighbor was coming through. But what the death card really means typically in tarot, and I'm getting the energy for you, is like there's things in your life that were decayed. They're past their usefulness. And I feel like you are approaching a time when now the soil turns over and new growth is really starting. And this card is a nostalgia card. So, this season, especially with the holidays, make sure that you really try and look towards the future and create new traditions and do new things, Anita, because I'm telling you right now, this card is like the death of the old ways. Out with the old, in with the new. Spirit is screaming that at me loud and clear for you. I'm going to pull a third card to confirm the reading, and I got the strength card and the infinity sign over this strength card. Anything is possible. Dream your dreams, journal, be positive, write them down because you've got a lot of new energy coming in and you want to harness it. I can just feel it. So that death card is out with the old and in with the new. All right. Next person I'm going to do is Carrie Ann. Carrie Ann, I'm going to do. All right. Um, Carrie Ann got energy coming in for you. Okay. I'm sensing a sadness about you a little bit. Don't be sad. All right. First of all, first thing I want to say, because it's like making me a little sad and I don't want you to be sad. Um, you've got a lot of things that are coming in for you, Carrie. Um, I want you to be really discerning because I do think that there is a relationship coming in on the horizon, or I shouldn't say relationship, maybe a man coming in on the horizon, and you will discern. Um, go slow with it because for some reason I feel like this person comes in and you have a lot of discernment now. You've been through some things, maybe it's the energy I'm getting. And I feel like maybe for the first time that I got the magician. Ah, yeah, that's possibility, the hangman. I feel like for the first time, you actually are able to walk away from somebody instead of them walking away from you. I made that mistake a lot when I was younger. I would stay too long somewhere that I knew probably wasn't right for me. But I feel like there's a guy who comes in or a relationship that comes in, a romance that comes in. You're discerning and you realize it's really not the one. And once you do that and you empower yourself that way, I feel like there's the right person's behind that person. So really use discernment with whoever starts to come into your life, because I feel like it's almost like a Uranian energy with Uranus. I have to look at your chart, but it's almost like all of a sudden things really start to open up and people come from places. So I got the Magician for you, and I think that's symbolic of you right now. For some reason, I keep repeating that word discernment, but they're really showing me that you have strong discernment now. Like, you are not swayed or influenced. You've really got your own mind going. You know what you want. You're really looking and observing of it. The Hangman is actually a card of indecision. I often call it the Libra card because it's a card of procrastination. But I think in this spread, it's actually a good energy because it shows you taking your time. You're not jumping in. You're not, you're not easily impressed these days, right? I'm thinking of that Shania Twain song she used to do the video for Man, I feel like a woman, and like she talks about, Brad Pitt and that don't impress me much. I feel like that's kind of your energy with love right now. It's a good thing sometimes. And then in reverse, I have this card of the Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups in reverse is different than the Four of Cups in right side up. When the Four of Cups right side up, it means we have a lot of choices to make and we're not looking at what's really being divinely given to us. We're too busy in the busyness of the choices to really see the divine intervention and the divine timing and the divine guidance. But the card was in reverse for you. So to me, that means the reverse, that, yeah, you do have a lot of choices and you're taking your time and you're really going to divine guidance and meditation and introspection to make right decisions. And you're not rushed. Your ego is not driving you to do something in a timely manner. You're just riding your wave and you're really strong doing that. So keep doing what you're doing. But all I have to tell you is really be discerning, because I believe that you're very attractive right now to a lot of people and you're going to have choices in that regard. So be discerned. Use your discernment. All right. Next card I'm going to pick is I'm going to pick Aaron, because I haven't done anything for Aaron in a while. Oh, one of Carrie Ann's rabbit died last week. That's the sadness. I can understand that. I'm still sad over my Sparky. I saw a dog that looked just like Sparky over the weekend, and for some reason I thought Spirit was going to bring me one, and I was going to name it Toto. And I said something to my boyfriend. I'm like, I think I'm going to get a dog named Toto. And he said, after the rock band? And I was like, no, like Toto in the Wizard of Oz. So we just weren't on the same frequency, but no dog has materialized. And looking now in hindsight, that's that illusion I was telling everybody's in. I don't think I'm getting a dog named Toto. But it was funny in that moment. Okay, so I have two cards here. I do. Okay, so these cards. Who did I say I was picking? I was picking for Aaron, my buddy Aaron. I love Aaron. Aaron's in Texas. Everybody say, "Hey, Aaron! Aaron, you got the Pentacles tonight. Look at this. You've got the Seven of Pentacles and you've got the Eight of Pentacles in a row, baby. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And then you've got this beautiful card of Balance, which is two. The Two of Swords is actually a card of not always seeing justice, but I know you've been doing a lot of work on yourself and you are definitely seeing it. But you got abundance coming. Maybe you're going to get a nice Christmas bonus or something. Um, Keep working hard. That's what those cards really are saying to me, is that your hard work is really paying off. And I don't just think it's hard work in your profession, which I know you do, but I also think that you've really been doing a lot of self-development and it's actually coming into the workforce too, and you're being more appreciated. But there is something you're not seeing. So don't be blinded by ego. Told to tell you that. I'm going to pick a fourth card here, the Hermit. So, and the way that I put the Hermit card down, it's shining on the Two of Swords. So that leads me to believe that I'm supposed to tell you, don't get caught up in ego, especially over the holiday season when things get a little bit busier. Shine that light on your own introspection instead of what other people are doing. Sometimes, it really is all about you, but not in the sense of ego, in the sense of you need to take your quiet time and really create the life you want. So that's the reading, but I definitely feel coin coming in for you, which is a good thing. Definitely a good thing. Hope I get a big Christmas bonus. And I got Christopher Colucci on there. Hey. So Chris, I'm gonna pull some cards for you. And I think I owe you a reading, Chris. So we gotta schedule that. I keep thinking of that every time I see you. And I'm scrolling and I see you. I'm like, I gotta call him. So this is for Chris Colucci. And by the way, your daughter is gorgeous. She's getting to be a young lady now. So pretty. Okay. They're telling me to really shuffle these up for you, Colucci. Okay. And over the holidays, I'm going to do a couple of these card shows because I know it's really important for us to have some energy readings over the holidays. So, Chris, I got the Judgment card for you in reverse. So, and the card of grief and the Page of Swords. But wait, don't freak out. Don't freak out. These are good cards. The Judgment card in reverse is a really good card because it means that you're in the process of a rebirth. Whenever I get it right side up, it means more of a health situation for me. But you might, if you're going through any little bit of a health thing, especially if it's anything with the stomach or anything, just get checked out. It's nothing. You just got to relax. I feel that for you. I feel you're very stressy, tensed up right now. But this card is definitely a card of new beginnings. And I feel like you're getting messages that are heightened, but you're not slowing down enough to really listen to them. So if you're not meditating or doing any of those, solitary exercises, walking in nature, any of those things, really go back to those routines because I feel like your messages are coming in very, very clear, but you're not getting them the whole way. And the reason I feel like that is because this card is in reverse, and this card for me is always the Archangel Gabriel, and he's blowing his horn, which is Gabriel giving messages. Gabriel gives messages directly from divine source. So when it comes in reverse for me, the messages are there. You're just not listening properly, or not. I shouldn't say properly. You're not listening attentively. You're not giving the messages the space they require for you to really process them. And then the next card I got was the card of grief. I feel like this isn't a recent loss. I feel like this is the time of year there was a loss or something during this time of year for you, like you lost someone very special and close to you, and it comes back every year at this time for you. So try and stay in the joy of the season. One of the ways that I get through grief, gratitude is the antidote to all grief. But one of the things also, as far as grief goes, like my parents are both gone, and I've lost a lot of people in the last several years, and the holidays can be challenging. And this is for everybody, but one of the things that helps me is I go into the energy of being really happy for those people who have passed because I know they're in paradise and I know that they're in heaven and I know that they're in a place far greater and far more beautiful than I could ever imagine, and I'm happy for them. I it's not about me. It's about them being in this beautiful place they deserve. And yes, I miss them, but I know I'll see them again. And that's how sometimes I get through the missing of people because I just feel glad for them. Like even for those of us who are mourning Lois Martin tonight, um, she's in such a beautiful place. I have to be happy for her because I know that she always wanted to be with spirit, like all of us, right? So the grief card, I would definitely say, just don't let yourself go in that energy again. And the next card that I have is the Page of Swords. Page of Swords is communication. And I really feel in this instance that this is a message from beyond. This is not three-dimensional communication. I feel like this card and this card are really joined together. The energy is going back and forth. This card is like the interference. Go into the contemplation, go into the quiet time. Don't be afraid of sadness or grief. You'll work through it. Really give yourself the process you need to hear those messages loud and clear that are coming in for you because they're there. They're definitely there. All right. Um, there you go, Chris. Yes, no problem. Um, Aaron, if you've been feeling stressing on the finances, that's going to let up. Just keep doing what you're doing because you're on the right track. You're welcome, Carrie Ann. I'm going to pick a card for Janine and we'll see what's going on here. Okay, and I have Barbara Vella. So I got a few minutes left. So let me pick. I'm being told to pick like one card for Janine. I don't know why they're telling. Oh, they're telling me to pick a soul card. That's why. Janine, you get a soul card. You must be special. Okay, so I'm going to pick a soul card for Janine. Janine, I don't know why, but I just got like a vision of baking around you. So I don't know if you're cooking for the holiday or something, but I get definitely baking, like baking around you. So if there's something that your mother used to make it. It's going to give you joy. It's going to bring you joy. Okay, let me pick it's this card. They're telling me to show you this card, baby. Oh, wow. Look at this. It's a shepherd. It's like a shepherd, and it's got all blue and green light around it, which is healing and divine light, that beautiful blue light. I feel like this is a guidance. So what I think that's why I was seeing baking. If there's a certain thing that your mom used to do, you're supposed to do it. It's going to bring you joy. not sadness. So definitely do that. Short and sweet. That's why they wanted me to see this card. This is like, yeah, because this shepherd in the photo, it's all beautiful divine light around the person, and they're holding like a staff with a tree on the top. So that's new growth. So new traditions. Take an old tradition and bring it into newness, and then create a new memory for yourself to replace the ones that make you sad. Next one I'm going to do is I want to pick a card for Kathy Gagliano, because Kathy was a guest on the show last week, and it's my way of thanking her. I'm going to pull a soul card for you, Kath. Oh, Melissa's a fellow Sag. There you go. I'm a Sag rising, so I'm a Libra, Sag rising with a Scorpio moon and 5 planets in Scorpio. So I'm a little intense. So, okay. All righty. So, I love this card. This is the Tree of Life card for me. And so, Kathy, this card, when you see this card, if you can really see it on camera, you're going to absolutely die, because this card is a card where you've got this person, right? And they're almost like the mentor, like they're sitting, like that beautiful statue of, I think it's David. And look at all the roots they have, right? And all of these roots to me shows growth, but it's also stability. It's like going down into the earth and pulling up the energy of stability. And the new business that you want to do, I know that's helping special needs children and families and parents. You need that stability to help those people. And this really shows it. And you see all the light, the beautiful green healing light around you. This is just such a great card for you. The sturdiness, the stability, the bringing in the energy of the earth to harness things. And I think it's just such a appropriate time for where you are now, and thinking about things, and look at all the light around the head, right? Just really propelling you forward into a beautiful new space. And the card also is very symbolic for me of tree and root, and you're working with family, and it's just great. I think there's a great card for you. Beautiful, beautiful energy. That is definitely confirmation that you are sitting on the top of the growth, baby. Beautiful, beautiful. So who else now? I have a couple of minutes left. Barbara, I'm going to pull a card for you. Barbara Dubendorfer. Okay. Oh, you got a lot of fire in your chart, Sag and Leo. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's definitely, I don't feel I feel the grief card is in that reading between those two cards. I feel like it's blocking the spiritual messages, because sometimes when we're sad, we don't want to be quiet. We just fill ourselves with distraction. So I'm pulling a soul card for Barbara. Okay, telling me to take the top one. Ooh, all this violet energy, so beautiful. So this soul card, they're telling me to pick 2 tarot cards to confirm that. This soul card is a beautiful card. It's a light being. You can see the hands and all the purple, violet energy coming into the hands. This is a card of another dimension. This is a card of someone who is really receiving spiritual messaging, going into a healing phase. Barbara, if you've been contemplating Reiki, either receiving it or actually taking Reiki attunements, I would absolutely say to do that, because this is definitely a card where you're just healing, and I'm seeing in the card, you might not be able to see it on camera, but the hands have like little beings in them, almost like dragon energy or elemental energy. And it's just a beautiful energy of connecting with the divine. And I work in violet light. So this is just so beautiful to have the violet all around you, and the violet light. It's the highest light on the spectrum of light, the highest vibration. Then we have this beautiful card, which is in reverse, which is, I sometimes call it the Tiny Tim or the orphan card. It depicts 2 people who are really down on their luck in deprivation, walking by a beautifully lit window, and they're in so much deprivation that they can't see the light. And it's in reverse, meaning that you've seen the light. You're in the process of allowing the light in. That's why this card, which symbolizes you, is all full of all this purple light. And then I have this beautiful card, which is also in reverse, which is the 10 of Pentacles. So this means giving up earthly possessions, not being so impressed or delighted by material wealth anymore, but spiritual wealth, which is what this middle card, this soul card, is all about. So if you're in any kind of a journey, Barbara, where you're looking to do a modality with healing or any kind of self-development and spiritual growth, I would absolutely be pursuing that now because these cards really show me that this is the time when you should be doing that. So look for your mentors, look for your teachers. So again, my condolences to everybody who is missing Lois Martin. And also, our store for our Zencuda merch opens on November 22nd. I'll post in my Facebook page all about that and on Instagram. And this Thanksgiving, watch your words when you're around that dinner table. We're going to have a lot of polarity type of energy between Sagittarius and Gemini. And if you are flying or traveling, leave extra early because you may have an okay time getting there, but coming home over the weekend is going to be a little bit of a mess. If you have any questions about the astrology or anything else, you can find me on Instagram at Zencuda Official, on Facebook at Zencuda Soul Space, and also on YouTube, Zencuda, where you can find over 150 videos, inspirational, astrology, and also the Soul Space podcast. And you can catch me on Spotify too. Thanks so much. I'll see you next Monday. Have an awesome Thanksgiving, everyone, and have much abundance. Thanks so much. Bye bye.